Are you getting sick still? If you're still getting colds and you feel nervous around sick people, obviously you're going to be more at risk. But most of us in this field don't get sick anymore. We fast, we take care of ourselves. There's no worry. Whoever's worrying obviously hasn't come to a very high level yet, because they're still getting sick. They're still in fear. They're still in a three-dimensional reality in which they're not fed and they're not protected. And, you know, worrying about these things really attracts it to you. It magnetizes it to you. I did get a message from someone yesterday. Also, they just sent me something about how to repel it for those who are not as advanced in their immune system. Lots of heat, lots of sun, hot spices, ginger. So there you go. If you want to take something and you want to load your body up with something, you can do that. But that's not really what I promote. You know, I think fasting, cleansing, having a healthy mind, you know, because it's when you're stressed and worried, that's when you get sick, you know. So all these people are making it even worse and magnetizing it even more by being in that state. So if you realize you're immune, you know, you're protected, you're not even that mentality of protection, because that even draws it in. So it's just like, well, I'm just here, you know, and I usually don't catch these things. That's just kind of the mentality you have, because you don't. Everyone else gets the flu, everyone else gets the viruses, you know, and you're always just fine. So, you know, obviously get your sleep though. Don't put yourself in a very strenuous, stressful situation. If you have a stressful situation in your life, don't overthink it. Don't stay up all night worrying about it, because then you will be more susceptible to these other things floating around. There's always something you could catch. There's things in your body that could just start populating because you haven't maintained a balanced energy, a balanced state. And, you know, there's whatever's going on the outside doesn't really matter. As long as you're consistently taking care of yourself, you won't catch, you know, something that's in that infinite pot of things that could possibly go wrong. You've got to put it all into perspective here. That propaganda is to put you in the fear and to make your life start attracting all of these things. And they may not realize that. Maybe they're just informing, but the more you fear and worry, the weaker your immune system. And I talked about that in my telomere video, which was written by scientists, and it is what they said in their book as well. So here, it's not just an energy worker speaking of these things. It is scientists who have said these things. Fear, worry, not feeling safe. These things are what lets you catch things. These things aid you. These things put you in a state where you're very susceptible. So don't do those things. I was in this building, and this was before it even seemed to come to the United States, but this lady had just flown in from China, and I was talking to her. I was like, yeah. We talked for about 20 minutes, and then she left, and this lady came in and was like, why didn't you tell her to leave, you know? And I'm like, what do you mean? Well, she just came in from China. And I was like, yeah. Okay. And she was like, well, don't you know about the coronavirus? And she went on this 20-minute rant, you know, about this, and it's fear, it's negativity and anger, and I'm like, geez. Now I'm just thinking in my mind, like, stuff like this goes on all the time, and I've known for at least a decade I don't catch anything, and so I'm like, she obviously doesn't know how to keep her body in a healthy way and how to keep her mind healthy. And she's just, oh man, you know, and I think I saw her catch a cold or something. Anyway, I was just like, man, because I had not encountered a person who was in such deep fear and such a lower consciousness in a long time. You know, I don't usually interact with these types of people. So when I came across her, and most people I talk to, they don't get sick and they're confident and they know they're healthy and they fast, they eat well, they have high energy. So I was just in shock, like, wow, it's one of those. And so I was like watching a movie, like, wow, this is interesting. How do you stay protected? You know, I obviously have my sessions for this to help those who aren't yet at that level to where they're immune. My sessions, they remove disease, they remove injuries, it removes cancers, it there's so any kind of problem in the body, it removes because it raises your energy, it cleanses you, and it's all stored on the energetic level. So if you're still holding in old past pains, that's toxic material, and it manifests in the physical. You turn into a human swamp. You gotta let that go. Flush, get exercise, fasting burns it off. Do all these things we talk about, If you want an energy session from me, that will help protect you. There's so many things. But don't get confused when you have detox symptoms. If you have a lot to release, you may suddenly have a runny nose, but that doesn't mean you caught something. It's just toxins coming out to get released. You may feel like all this pressure the next day or that night because everything was suddenly in the bloodstream, and it's because it's just all coming out. It all got pulled out, and I could feel it, and I'm like, oh my God, there's a big mass right here. I've got to pull. I just have to work on that thing for 30 minutes sometimes, just because there's this huge density they stored right here, and that correlates with the emotions they stored, because different types of emotions are always stored in the same part of the body. Most of us know this by now. And you're going to have an injury in that area because, whatever you never forgave your father, you never forgave your mother, you always had this anger, you always, felt afraid. So you're always going to manifest according to whatever emotion you're holding in. And, that's what my sessions are for, to release that, to make you aware, to help you emotionally let go, to help you physically let go, mentally, to reprogram your mind. It causes so many amazing things to start flowering and happening for you. You just start thinking more positively, and that definitely has a big effect. You start more intuitively doing what's good for you. You start feeling more alive, feeling younger, feeling more spiritually guided. You'll have more miraculous type of synchronicities and abilities, and feel more light, see more light, spiritual light or angelic light. The list goes on, and I just want everyone to get to at least where the level I am, where you're just flooded with this amazing yumminess all the time. You just feel so good. You're just walking around. People ask, how are you? And you really just want to tell them, I am amazing, like always. I'm just feeling good. When does life not feel incredible? So that's what I want everyone to be, just immune, and we won't have to drug up our kids. We won't have to be buying into that illusion. Drink your green juices, drink your lemon and honey. Do everything you can if you really are worried, but sometimes being the OCD person about health matters actually magnetizes it to you, because that's all you're thinking about. And you're thinking about it in a worried way, and that's what causes it. That's how law of attraction works. That's how manifestation works. So if you're constantly thinking about it and putting energy towards that, well, hey, you're like, hey, come here. I want to test you. I want you. So let's, obviously be healthy. Make being healthy, and not healthy because of that, but be healthy because you want to feel great and be immune to everything. Because I tell you, being in a way because you don't want something is not the energetic way to do that. You're going to attract. So be very careful how you think about what you're doing. It's not to fight off the enemy. If someone's coming at you, I'm going to do all this training. No, it's to feel good. Think of the real soul deep, the right reason to do something. It's not to beat your competition, because then you're only feeding your competition, because you're always thinking about them. You've got to think, I'm serving, and I'm doing this for me, for others. That's why just having a negative mentality and fighting off something, as they train society, we're fighting, we're always in a war. Well, that mentality really screws up the law of attraction. And anytime you think about life that way, you're not going to be there. You're not going to be into that energetic, enlightened state, streaming in these energies if you're always having to go after someone or having to fight off someone. Just focus on you. And those who are still in that mentality, they're not even close, you know. And we may have to fight off those people. Still in that negative there's so many reasons for that I'm not going to go into. Just focus on the light and where you want to be and not on your problems, because focusing on your problems is going to make you a person who has that mental, psychological problem that they must always fight someone. So don't always focus on your problems. Focus on goodness and being the best person you can and building up your life and not trying to destroy or fight off. Okay, just be whole. Just be okay. You know, be in the light. Be love. Be healthy, because we obviously can't be eating constant GMO and pharmaceuticals, toxifying the body so much. Mercury, formaldehyde, and vaccines. I mean, all these things just destroy your immune system. These plagues go around. It's because we've been living in such a terrible way, eating foods we really shouldn't be eating. And if you haven't yet switched over, you're going to be punished until you do. You will get sick until you correct yourself. You will get slapped on the face by some event until you do it right, until you're doing the right thing, and until you get on the right path. So if you got sick, or someone who got sick because they're not living their life right, if they were, they'd be immune. They wouldn't be catching it. It wouldn't be something that would enter their system. To change your way of life, or to offer you my sessions or my way of life, you know, to be immune. Thank you for watching. You can follow me on Facebook at Souls Empowered, my website at soulsempowered.com. It has sessions that help, you know, boost your immunity and to really live an empowered, enlightened, incredible state in which all of the old rules just are forgotten, because you live by a whole different system and you become so superhuman, immune, strong, healthy, not dependent on so many things, prescriptions and food and drugs. None of that exists. Your source is this light and this energy that is so delicious. Nothing compares. And you're filled with it. There's no void. There's absolutely no void. You're filled completely. So filled. All right. And so here, you know, I haven't had a bite in a few days. I am so filled. Yeah, this feels so good. And I want everyone to feel this good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amazing, loving, incredible soul being. And I wish the best for you. I wish ultimate protection, but blessings and love beyond your wildest dreams. For you, I want the most divine alignment that will just blow your mind once you really commit to your soul's purpose, to your source path. You just cannot even believe where you are taken compared to how society lives. It's just beyond your wildest dreams. Just the feeling of it, the energy of it. It's so good. And you will not even think, oh, virus? Flu season? And everyone's scurrying around like rats, getting shots and injecting drugs. It's like, wow. You know, you forget. You sort of forget about these things. When you dwell in a much higher plane, you're immune. Healers shouldn't be getting sick. If you're a healer and you're getting sick, you haven't yet gotten to the place where you should be giving healings, honestly. Anyway, all right, thank you for watching, and much, much love to you all.